Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be looking at Dmitry Hvorostovsky and Lara Fabian's Toi et moi from the Kremlin Palace concert in 2014. That's a lot of languages I had to squeeze into that particular sentence there. Now, I haven't heard this particular song yet. This is from the Kremlin Palace 2014 event that the vocalist came from a couple of reactions back. And so I'm going to go into this cold. So I don't anticipate hitting everything that you guys know. You guys are such experts and you point a lot of stuff out to me. And I really do appreciate that. I'm going to do my best to catch what I hear, but I haven't heard this song and I haven't actually, I don't know what I'm looking for yet. So I'm going to stop it when I hear something really amazing. But if I miss something, please put all that stuff that you know in the comments, because we build our community through our comments, and we build our sense of and our sense of friendship and our sense of I'll call it communion for no other sense of word. Our sense of community down there, and we share our collective knowledge down there. And I really appreciate all the stuff that we bring, because I've learned a lot. I know other people have learned a lot, and it's really been great to see other people interact about their favorite artists. So without any further ado, let us begin.
Lara Fabian.
C'est qu'on peut dans ta masse blanche, si froide. Ne pensons plus d'hier, des nuages, des arbres sans fleurs, de cette maisonnette là qui se cache au bord de chaleur, l'écho lointain du bonheur. Oh, ceci déjà, ça dans l'escalade.
He's I should have looked him up a little bit more. He's a baritone or bass, correct? He doesn't seem to have the vocal, like, his, where he feels most comfortable is in a lower register. And again, if you can help me out with that. One of the interesting things about this is I really like the presence that he brings to the stage, and his subtleness in his, like, I'll call it diction. But he's not slurring his words. He's just using a very deliberate way of enunciating that is a little bit more casual, to my ear. Now, again, I could be wrong. I know he's just as well trained as anybody else. So it isn't that. It's just I'm at this point, for him, it's a choice that he's making to not be as open with his vowels, to not be as formal with them. And so, again, like most of the songs that you see between all these great artists, the Lara Fabians, the Dimashes, the Dmitrys, it's how they take something and they build it from little to big, and back again. That ability to move back and forth and use those dynamics, not only in volume, but in terms of diction and in terms of pitch. If you watch Lara in Caruso, how she chews her words, amazing. Same thing is happening here. So again, put your comments down below. I'm going to continue on. I'm going to bring it back just a couple of minutes. He has a very interesting stage presence. I've seen his thumbnail across a lot of things, and he has a very imposing presence. It's a little scary at times, and I know he's passed. So he has a very intriguing persona about him in his look and how he presents himself. It's beautiful work. So I'm going to go back.
L'écho lointain du bonheur. Oh, ceci déjà, ça dans l'escalade. Toi les chemins du monde, toi et moi, parmi les fantaisies et les raisons, en recherchant l'amour profond.
The harmonies in there, the use of there are some accidentals in there. Someone, again, I'm not a music theorist, so the professional musicians are going to have to help me out here. But there's a lot of minor stuff going on in here. So again, I don't know the full story about this song. I've glanced at conversations in other reactors, but I haven't looked at this song. I know that there's one song in particular where Dmitry does a song that has a lot to do with domestic violence and stuff like this. So if this is that song, the use of the chord structure here, the harmonies, not the chord structure, well, both and the harmonies that they do here evoke all this emotion. Now I'm not I'm not a person who listens to lyrics or stuff like this when I'm listening to music. I listen to how the music delivers the message rather than the words, because I assume that they're trying to get those two things together, and if they don't, it'll stand out to me. But here, the use of how they structure their harmonies, how this song is structured by its harmonies, is giving me a very, I'll just say it, a funeral dirge sort of sound to it. There's a very minor, there's a very it's slow, and they're not dragging, but the song is, the tempo of it is just there. There's a slowness to this sort of inertia behind it. It's amazing. And so anybody, if there's a music theorist who can explain this a little bit better than I can, please do, because the use of the accidentals, the use of the minor here, the use of the way that they structure the chords here, and then also the unison at the end. Very interesting, because her unison comes in higher and a little bit louder and a little bit sharper than, not tone wise, not pitch wise, but in terms of tone. Hers comes in just a little bit above his, and I know that these are highly trained people, so when they make decisions, they make very deliberate decisions on how they perform, because they're true professionals who have been trained. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to play this section again a little bit, probably back here. This is about 15 seconds. So if anybody else has something to say about that, this is what I hear. I can be wrong at first listen, but there's a lot of emotion happening in this section.
En recherchant l'amour profond.
Actually, I'm going to take it back a little bit further, because that was not the harmonies I was talking about.
Douloureusement perdu et incertain sur les chemins du monde, toi et moi, parmi les fantaisies et les raisons. En Écoutez de Bach les préludes.
I'm going to take that back. In the part where they were singing in together, it was a very somber sound. Now, did you notice the switch in tone that she made there? Everything became brighter, everything became happier, everything became much more giving. Now, again, there's a lot of metaphor, a lot of motions here. I'm going to let you guys take care of that in the comments. Otherwise, this will be a 500-minute video. But I'm going to go back a little bit so that you can see this interaction, because again, this is a performance, and Lara Fabian always does performances. She doesn't sing. So I'm going to go back here, and you can see this interaction here. There's a lot that was said without being said right here.
Quand je te vois sourire, écoutez de Bach les préludes. Pendant que dans mon cœur, la joie de vivre s'est enfuie. Je passe à travers le miroir de nos souvenirs pour enfin encore devenir l'ombre indivisible qui vainc la solitude. Toi et moi, douloureusement perdus et incertains sur les chemins du bonheur. Parmi les fantaisies et la raison, on recherche douloureusement perdus et incertains.
So I'm going to stop here because we moved through that bridge section, and then we're in this, well, I'll assume will be the final section of this song. Now, Lara Fabian is a really great, and again, I'm sure Dmitry is a professionally trained opera singer, if I remember correctly. If I'm wrong, help me out. But they're really good at building a scene, and even without the camera doing what it was doing, going around them like it did, they did a really great job of showing the intimacy of this moment on the stage. So even if the camera wasn't 6 inches away, I would know if I was in the back of the audience that they were having a conversation at each other or with each other. It doesn't matter. I know that they're communicating with each other right there and then on the stage.
Sur les chemins du bonheur, toi et moi, parmi les fantaisies et la raison, en recherchant
So again, and again, I didn't check to see if there were subtitles to this song. There's not closed captioning listed at the bottom of this, so I'm assuming not. So with that, I'm going to let you guys talk about this in the comments, because again, this is a really great example of how how Dmitry and Lara used their energy to accomplish the goals of the song. This is part of the vocal toolkit that I keep talking about over and over again. It's not all about just what happens here or here. It happens all throughout here and all throughout the body. And even though they were standing in front of the monitors to make sure that they could hear themselves against the orchestra, what was really great about this is that they did a really great job of bringing that intimacy, that connectedness. They sold the story of this couple because again, this translates into you and me from the French. So again, this is a really great thing, and I'm going to leave it to go at that. I know you guys have a lot to say about this. One thing before I go, yep, is this happened in 2014. It's the same concert that was the vocalise, and I know we had a lot of conversations about, the fact that she had that auditory accident with the earpiece, and that's one of the reasons why she's standing in front of a monitor. If that happened to me, there's never ever going to be another one of those put in my ear again. Um, but the thing is that every once in a while you're going to see, probably from now on, and I haven't watched a lot of her later videos, is she's going to cup her ear like this now, or she's going to reach back here. And the reason that she does this is no different than from what Mariah Carey does when she does her whistle notes or anything like that. And even Dimash does it in the Didi Dow video from, if you listen to Dimash's videos, I do. So he does this also in Didi Dow. So he'll do this because he's trying to hear himself. What's actually happening is when you do this, you're going to start hearing things in more of an echo chamber. It sounds a little bit different. So she's helping herself hear herself. That's really the goal of this, is that she's trying to hear herself. And it's helping her hear herself. So if there is damage, what this does is it helps build like an echo chamber right here, so that noise comes into her ear like that. So again, I just want to bring that up in case you see her do that in concerts past 2014. That's really what she's doing. She's doing that to help the monitors do their work. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. You guys enjoy your day. Today is Thanksgiving here in the United States, so later on I'm going to be eating turkey and making sure that I'm larger than I was the day before. But it's a great day here, so you guys enjoy yourself, and as always, be safe.